Hello, fellow Amazonians. It's David from Wanapola here with another interesting seller forum discussion. Today we have a post from Beat the Devil Running with Walmart, Amazon, and others lost millions of dollars to an organized online refund fraud scheme. And this story is quite interesting. I am not shocked, but the way they did it is quite organized, and it's an intriguing story. So let's dig in. So Business Insider posted this article. To find it, simply Google organized customer refund crime ring. What it said is how amongst the victims suffering losses, third-party sellers are never mentioned. Retailers, including Walmart and Amazon, lost millions of dollars to refund fraud schemes. One crime ring recruited customers to falsely claim their e-commerce orders were damaged or never received. Several Reddit and Telegram groups openly swap return scamming tips, 404 Media and Court Watch found. A coordinated refund fraud scheme has cost online retailers like Walmart and Amazon millions, according to federal prosecutors. In an indictment filed under the seal last month, U.S. attorneys detailed how a crime ring recruited legitimate shoppers to purchase an item, have the purchase refunded, and through various means keep the refunded item for personal use or sell for profit. So essentially, they're having people buy a product, claim it was never received, and then Amazon would send another one because it was never received, and they would get, if they actually did receive the first shipment, then they would have two duplicates, right? And they got 2 for 1. That's what's going on here. And the filing was recently unsealed and first reported by tech investigation site 404 Media in collaboration with Court Watch. 10 individuals, referred to as Artemis Refund Group (ARG), are charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud following a multi-year operation that falsely initiated refunds or returns for shoppers' completed e-commerce orders. Both Amazon and Walmart acknowledged insiders' requests, but neither immediately had a detailed response for the story. Per the indictment, ARG would obtain order details from shoppers, which it would use to interact with customer service departments on behalf of the shoppers. If the retailer provided a no return refund, ARG would take a percentage cut, and then the customer would keep the item. Retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Target sometimes offer no return refunds where the cost of the return outweighs the value of the sellers. So we do actually have products where we do non-returnless refund. That's what we call it. And it's interesting how ARG is offering a service to their customers where if they can get a product for them for free, essentially a returnless refund, because they would buy it for them and then do the transaction of returning it without returning it, then they would keep a percentage cut as a commission. And that's an interesting business model I've never thought of. But it is true that there are sellers, including some of our clients and ourselves, our brands ourselves, do returnless refund because there's no point in getting an item back that's under $10 and trying to resell it as an open box, or even if it's brand new. All the shipping is just doesn't make sense. So those do exist. If the seller required a return shipment, ARG would send a fraudulent package. Wow. I mean, I know Amazon will accept anything in returns, but we do get switch. We call it switcheroos. We get something that wasn't ours in our return, and they get the refund regardless. But we'll come back to that. If the retailer sent a replacement, ARG would receive the shipment, sell it, and split the proceeds with the shopper who kept the original item. Interesting. ARG also recruited company insiders, including staff at Walmart's returns department, to boost the scam success rate, per the indictment. That's crazy. Prosecutors say thousands of shoppers use ARG scheme to effectively get items for as much as 85% off, typically for high-priced items. In February, a government informant bought a $541.41 Kate Spade handbag using ARG scam, and in May they used it to get a MacBook Pro from Amazon. Wow. This is an investigation how to even undercover buyers. Wow, that's crazy. The volume of transactions were so numerous that ARG organized them in a spreadsheet. The number of returns were so many that one defendant rented a storage unit, prosecutors said. Wow. Amazon acknowledged the scam had cost the company more than $700,000, while prosecutors say return fraud in general has cost other retailers involved well into millions of dollars. 404 Media also found numerous Reddit and Telegram groups openly swapping tips on perpetrating refund fraud. with specific advice for individual retailers. The outlet found at least 6 such subreddits, including R Illegal Life Pro Tips 2, which has over 100,000 followers. The publication also noted that delivery drivers, many of them gig workers, are often the ones who bear the brunt of the customer complaints about the missing or damaged shipment, supposedly fraudulent. And this is just a reality of balancing customer service and meeting expectations and dealing with fraud. It's just like any business. There is no perfect solution. It's a give and take. And I do understand there are times where in one of my locations, if an Amazon package was delivered in the past, things would get stolen, and I would tell Amazon like, hey, we never got it, because technically we never got it, and then they would send a replacement. And I was thinking, well, wow, like I could have just kept the package, said I never got it, and then they would have sent a replacement regardless, so I would have had duplicates. But I would assume that if you do too much of that, like let's say your replacement value is like 50% of your purchase, value. Like in terms of if I buy $100 of things a month and $50 of it I have to get replaced, then I would assume they'll flag my account or stop giving it to me. But I spend I spend a lot more money on Amazon than having things lost and replaced. So I assume that they give me the benefit of the doubt. But there are times where things get stolen from my doorstep, or they do get misdelivered to another address. I never get it, and then they would just send a replacement for free. And so I understand that there is a possibility for fraudsters to take advantage of this. And it's unfortunate because for the people like us that did get a lost item or get items stolen, it's unfair for us to have to, pay more or charge or just lose that benefit that Amazon gives to us because of these people that are taking advantage of the system. And that's just the way it is. There's always just people taking advantage, and then it ruins it for the rest of us. I do think that over time, Amazon will require signature verification when delivering high-value products or packages, like over $100 or $200. I could see that where they need to sign it and get like maybe even like an ID verification to make sure it's the right person, or get proof or a video that someone was signed, just to show that the package was in fact delivered, and these fraudsters can't take advantage of the return or replacement benefit that Amazon gives. And it comes to returns too. We face switcheroos all the time. Like we get just things that are much cheaper than our return item. Let's say like the products being returned is $100, and the return item is $50. So and it wasn't even our product, and that's called a switcheroo. And those can be reimbursed. It just takes a lot of time because you have to go through the process of taking all the pictures, typing in all the information in the removal reimbursement dashboard. So that's good that Amazon does allow the seller to recuperate their losses, but I can see it's a time-consuming process. And I hope that Amazon over time, I think they're starting to do this too, where any high-value product needs to go to an Amazon return center, where I assume they'll check and make sure that it is the right product being returned. So I do see this changing, and it may inconvene the average person a little more, but it's just a necessary evil to offset what these fraudsters are doing, and that's just the way it is sometimes. So if you find this video helpful, please do subscribe and leave a thumbs up. It takes very little effort from you, and makes a massive impact on how YouTube ranks my content. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.